In the year 2435, Earth had transformed into a thriving center for interstellar diplomacy. The skyline of New Terra glimmered with futuristic architecture, filled with diverse alien species engaged in commerce and culture. Amidst this cosmic melting pot, Dr. Samara Wright, a brilliant human physicist, prepared for a monumental conference on interdimensional travel. She felt a mix of excitement and trepidation as she walked through the bustling streets, her mind racing with possibilities. One afternoon, as she sipped coffee at a bustling cafe, a flash of movement caught her eye. A tall, slender figure approached. It was an alien, a Nebulian, with iridescent skin and eyes that sparkled like the stars. "Dr. Wright," she said, her voice musical yet serious. "I am Zaria, an envoy from the Nebulae Alliance. We need your help." Samara blinked in surprise. What could I possibly offer? "The nebulae face extinction," Zaria stated, her expression grave. "Our scientists believe your research into dimensional physics may hold the key to saving our species." Samara's heart raced. The implications were staggering. "Tell me more." Zaria leaned closer, her eyes filled with urgency. "We have discovered a way to tap into the seventh dimension, where energy flows differently, but we lack the technology to harness it. Your expertise is crucial for us to make this a reality." That night, Samara sat in her lab, her mind buzzing with ideas. The concept of the seventh dimension had always fascinated her. It was a realm where time and space twisted, creating possibilities that were beyond comprehension. Could this be the breakthrough that both she and the Nebulians needed? The next day, Samara convened a meeting with her research team. They were a group of passionate scientists from different backgrounds, united by a shared goal. As she laid out Zaria's proposal, they listened intently. "The Nebulians believe they can harness energy from this dimension," Samara explained. "If we can help them, we might unlock new technologies that could benefit all of humanity." Dr. Leo Martinez, her close colleague, raised an eyebrow. "But what if something goes wrong?" "We're talking about manipulating the fabric of reality itself." Samara nodded, understanding the risks involved. "I know, but think of the potential. We could discover new energy sources, advanced technologies. Who knows what else?" After a long discussion, the team agreed to collaborate with Zaria and her people. They began drafting plans for a joint research facility on Nebulae Prime, where they could safely experiment with dimensional energy. Weeks later, the team arrived on Nebulae Prime, a world of stunning beauty, with glowing flora and a sky filled with swirling colors. The Nebulians welcomed them with open arms, eager to share their knowledge. Samara felt a sense of hope as she watched the two species work side by side, united by a common purpose. As they delved into research, they discovered that the seventh dimension was more complex than they had anticipated. It was a realm of chaos and order, where energy could be both destructive and constructive. Zaria proved to be an invaluable partner, guiding them through the intricacies of Nebulian technology. One evening, while working late, Samara and Zaria found themselves deep in discussion. "You humans have an incredible capacity for creativity," Zaria remarked. "It's as if you can visualize possibilities that others cannot." Samara smiled. "We're driven by curiosity. It fuels our innovation." Zaria nodded. "Perhaps that's why we are drawn together. We need each other's strengths." Their bond grew stronger, built on respect and shared ambition. Together, they crafted a prototype device designed to tap into the seventh dimension's energy, a shimmering vessel that pulsed with potential. Finally, the day of the first experiment arrived. The lab buzzed with anticipation as Samara, Zaria, and the team gathered around the device. It stood tall in the center of the room, glowing with a vibrant light. "Are we ready?" Samara asked, her heart pounding. Zaria nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "We have prepared for this moment." With a deep breath, Samara activated the device. The air crackled with energy, and the room filled with an otherworldly hum. Suddenly, a portal opened, swirling with colors that defied description. The team watched in awe as tendrils of energy reached out from the portal, dancing around the room. They felt a surge of power, a connection to something greater than themselves. But then, alarms blared. "We've lost control," cried Leo, frantically typing on his console. "The energy levels are spiking." Panic filled the room as the portal began to destabilize. "Shut it down," Samara shouted, but it was too late. The energy erupted, sending shockwaves through the lab. In an instant, the world spun around them. Samara felt herself being pulled into the portal, her surroundings blurring into a kaleidoscope of light. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in a strange dimension, one where the laws of physics seemed altered. "Zeria," she called out, but her voice echoed into silence. She looked around, seeing bizarre landscapes and strange creatures. This dimension was both beautiful and terrifying. Meanwhile, back on Nebulae Prime, Zeria and the team struggled to contain the aftermath of the failed experiment. They had lost contact with Samara, and time was running out. They needed to act quickly to bring her back. As Samara wandered through the strange realm, she felt a surge of determination. "I can't let this be the end," she thought. "I need to find a way back." With each step, she gathered her thoughts, recalling the principles of dimensional physics. Part 6. The Journey Within. Realizing she needed to harness the energy of this dimension, Samara focused her mind, tapping into her scientific knowledge and innate creativity. The strange environment pulsed with energy, a vibrant tapestry of colors and shapes. Each flicker of lights seemed to whisper secrets of this world. She closed her eyes and let the sensations wash over her. "What do I know?" she thought, recalling her studies on dimensional physics. "The seventh dimension is a realm where reality is fluid. If I can manipulate the energy around me, I might create a pathway back to my world." As she concentrated, she visualized her home, the bustling streets of New Terra, the warm glow of sunlight filtering through the trees, the laughter of friends and colleagues. With each vivid image, she felt her determination growing stronger. She needed to find a way back, not just for herself, but for everyone who believed in her and the potential of their work. Her mind raced with calculations, recalling equations that described energy flows and the properties of dimensions. "If I can align my thoughts with the energy here, I can create a resonance," she murmured, her voice barely a whisper in the vastness around her. In her mind's eye, she began to see the chaotic energy swirling around her coalesce into a more structured form. It was like watching a storm calm, as lightning gave way to gentle rain. "I need to focus," she urged herself, pushing away the fear that threatened to overwhelm her. Meanwhile, back on Nebulae Prime, Zeria gathered the remaining team members in the lab. They were filled with concern, their faces etched with worry. "We have to create a stabilizing field," Zeria suggested, her voice steady. "It might allow us to reach Samara and guide her home." Dr. Leo Martinez nodded, already thinking ahead. "We'll need to combine our technologies. The Nebulian energy crystals can resonate with the dimensional frequencies. If we configure them properly, we might just create a bridge." With urgency, the team sprang into action. Zeria led the way, coordinating tasks as they gathered materials. The lab buzzed with energy as scientists worked side by side, each contributing their expertise. The Nebulians shared their crystalline technology, while the humans added their understanding of physics and engineering. As they constructed the device, Samara's thoughts drifted between her work and the memories of laughter and friendship back home. Each laugh echoed in her mind, fueling her resolve. "I won't let them down," she whispered to herself. Back in the strange realm, Samara felt a spark of energy forming around her. Come on," she urged, visualizing the portal she had once created. She concentrated on the swirling light, feeling the energy pulse and rhythm with her heartbeat. The world around her began to shimmer, responding to her thoughts. As she stepped closer to the light, she could feel the energy swirling around her. It was as if the very fabric of the seventh dimension was bending to her will. She reached out, extending her hands toward the energy, feeling it wrap around her fingers like a warm embrace. "Focus on the connection," she reminded herself. "Imagine the pathway back." Each moment spent in this dimension had taught her more about its nuances, and she knew that her understanding could shape reality itself. In the lab, Zarya and the team had made significant progress. They had assembled a large crystalline array, carefully aligning the Nebulian energy crystals to form a stabilizing field. The room crackled with anticipation as they prepared to activate the device. "Are we ready?" Zarya asked, looking around at her team. Each nod filled her with hope, and she felt a surge of determination. They would not let Samara's bravery be in vain. Leo activated the device, and a pulse of energy shot through the room. The crystals began to glow, resonating with the dimensional frequencies they had been studying. The air shimmered as a portal began to form, mirroring the energy that Samara was generating in the other realm. "Samara, can you hear us?" Zarya shouted, hoping against hope that their voices would reach her. Back in the strange realm, Samara felt a sudden rush of energy. "Zarya," she called out, her voice echoing in the ethereal landscape. "I'm here." She concentrated harder, channeling her energy toward the portal she envisioned. The swirling light intensified, and she could feel the pull of the dimensional energy guiding her. With each heartbeat, she felt the connection grow stronger. It was as if she were weaving a thread between two worlds, crafting a tapestry that spanned dimensions. "I can do this," she whispered, her confidence rising. "I just need to focus." Suddenly, the energy around her surged, and the portal flickered like a candle in the wind. "Stay steady," she urged herself, resisting the urge to panic. She felt the light pulling her in different directions, testing her resolve. But she pressed on, visualizing the faces of her team, the friends she had made along the way. In the lab, Zarya monitored the portal's stability. "It's working," she exclaimed, watching as the energy fluctuated in sync with Samara's thoughts. "We're getting a reading." Leo adjusted the controls, fine-tuning the frequencies. "We need to keep the energy balanced. If we overextend—" "We won't," Zarya interrupted, determination blazing in her eyes. "We're bringing her home." Back in the seventh dimension, Samara felt a wave of hope wash over her. She concentrated harder, pouring every ounce of her energy into the swirling light. The chaos began to align, forming a clearer path. "Zarya," she shouted again, her voice stronger this time. "I can see it. I'm almost there." The portal began to stabilize, its light intensifying as Samara focused her energy on the connection. She could feel the boundaries between dimensions blurring, her determination merging with the power of the seventh dimension. With one final push, she stepped forward, reaching out toward the shimmering light. "I'm coming home," she cried, the words echoing across dimensions. Suddenly, the portal flared, enveloping her in a blinding light. Samara felt herself being pulled through, her body tingling with energy as she crossed the threshold between worlds. As she emerged in the lab, she was met with a scene of chaos and celebration. Zarya and her team rushed toward her, relief and joy evident in their expressions. "You did it!" Zarya exclaimed, tears of happiness in her eyes. "I felt you all with me," Samara replied, breathless. "We're stronger together." As they embraced, Samara realized that their journey had only just begun. The energy of the seventh dimension was not just a tool. It was a bridge that connected them, a reminder of the power of unity and diversity. Together, they would explore new possibilities and face whatever challenges lay ahead. "Let's refine our research," Samara said, determination burning in her heart. "There's so much more to discover." Zarya nodded, her gaze filled with excitement. "And together, we can achieve the unimaginable." United by their experiences, they set to work, determined to unlock the mysteries of the universe, one dimension at a time. Part 7. Unity in Diversity. Just as the energy field stabilized, Zarya and the team activated their device. A beam of light shot into the portal, illuminating the darkness. "Samara!" Zarya shouted, her voice filled with hope. The sight of the swirling portal gave her renewed energy, a beacon calling to their lost friend. In the depths of the strange realm, Samara saw the light piercing through the chaos. Her heart lifted at the sight of hope shining through the darkness. Every fiber of her being urged her forward, and she raced toward the radiance, her feet barely touching the ground. The world around her was a whirlwind of colors and shapes, but the light was her only focus. "Come on, just a little more," she urged herself, adrenaline coursing through her veins. With one final push, she leaped through the portal, feeling the exhilarating pull of energy as it engulfed her. As she emerged in the lab, cheers erupted around her. "You did it!" Zarya exclaimed, tears of relief glistening in her eyes. The entire team gathered around her, their faces a mixture of joy and disbelief. They had done the impossible. "I'm back," Samara gasped, still catching her breath. She felt the warmth of their embrace and the familiar surroundings of the lab wrap around her like a blanket. "I can't believe it." But amid the celebration, a profound realization washed over them. This experiment had revealed not just the potential of the seventh dimension, but the extraordinary strength that came from their collaboration. They had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious, not as separate entities, but as a unified team. "Look what we accomplished together," Leo exclaimed, his eyes wide with excitement. "The way we combined our technologies and ideas. This is just the beginning." Zarya nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "We discovered how to bridge dimensions, but we also proved how effective our teamwork can be. Imagine what else we could achieve if we continue to work like this." Samara smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "It's about more than just the science. We've learned the importance of unity and diversity. Each of us brings something unique to the table, and that's our greatest strength." As they gathered around the central table, Zarya spread out the data collected during their experiments. The graphs and charts glowed with information about energy levels and dimensional fluctuations. "We need to refine our research," she said, determination lighting her eyes. "This data could change everything we know about the universe." "Exactly," Samara agreed. "We can explore new dimensions, new forms of energy, and potentially new life forms. The seventh dimension is just the tip of the iceberg." Leo leaned in, excitement bubbling over. "What if we could create stable access points between dimensions? Imagine the knowledge we could exchange with other beings out there." The team began brainstorming ideas, their voices overlapping as they proposed plans and solutions. Each suggestion built on the last, demonstrating their growing synergy. The lab, once a place of tension and uncertainty, was now alive with creativity and possibility. As they discussed their ideas, Samara felt a sense of belonging wash over her. They were not just colleagues. They were a family united by a shared purpose. This sense of community ignited her curiosity, urging her to dive deeper into the unknown. Days turned into weeks as they worked tirelessly, refining their device and conducting further experiments. With every success, their bond grew stronger. They shared meals, laughter, and late-night discussions that lasted until the early morning hours. Each member contributed their unique talents, resulting in groundbreaking discoveries. One afternoon, while examining new data, Zarya turned to Samara. "You remember how chaotic it felt when you were lost in the seventh dimension?" she asked. "What if we could create a method to help others navigate those realms safely?" "That's brilliant," Samara replied, her mind racing with the implications. "We could develop a training program for scientists to prepare them for dimensional exploration. We could ensure they know how to harness their own energy while navigating these realms." Excitement filled the room as they planned their next steps. They envisioned a future where humanity and Nebulians would thrive together, sharing knowledge and unlocking the unimaginable power of the universe. This collaborative spirit became their guiding principle. As their research progressed, they encountered challenges, of course. Some experiments failed and tensions occasionally flared, but they learned to communicate openly, discussing their frustrations and setbacks. They realized that these moments of conflict only served to strengthen their unity. Each challenge was an opportunity to learn and grow, both as scientists and as a team. One evening, as they gathered for a celebratory dinner, Samara raised her glass. "To our incredible journey together," she said, looking around at the smiling faces of her friends. "We faced the unknown, and together, we've triumphed. Here's to the future." The clinking of glasses echoed in the lab, a harmonious sound that encapsulated their achievements and aspirations. In that moment, they knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together. As the stars twinkled outside, Samara gazed at the sky, her heart filled with hope. The universe was vast, full of mysteries waiting to be explored. With her team by her side, she felt ready to take on anything. The journey within had revealed the power of unity, creativity, and curiosity. Together, they would continue to unlock the secrets of the cosmos, forging a path into the unknown. "Let's get to work," Zarya said, her eyes sparkling with determination. "We have a universe to explore." And so, united in their diversity, they dove headfirst into the endless possibilities ahead, knowing that their greatest adventures were yet to come.